Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome in. Welcome to your tarot reading. This is the Dream Clairvoyant. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you are doing well, feeling safe, and feeling blessed because you are. So let's go ahead and get started on your reading. Please remember to take what resonates and leave what does not. Holy Spirit, thank you for guiding us. What is the message for someone out there? Oh, there's definitely a message. You have number 1, which is the Messenger card. Let's see here. You have number 17, which is the Stork. Tell us more about this message. You have 29, which is lady number 1. Clarify number 1, the Messenger. Clarify number 1. Oops. Clarify number 1, the Messenger. There's definitely a message here for you. You have main female. Clarify number 1, the Messenger. You have distant horizons. 44, the magnifying glass. And journey. So number 1 is the Messenger card, and the Messenger card, like I said earlier, you know, you can clearly see in the illustration she's holding the envelope in her hand. So there's definitely some kind of communication, some form of communication that you have received or you're about to receive. In clarity of the Messenger card, you do have number 2, which is the main female. The main female, I feel... Actually, I want us to look more into the main female card here. Let me see. Child. Tell us more about the main female. This could be your energy here. Ooh, yeah. So 25 is the ring. Yeah, you're showing up in your feminine energy, whether you're man or woman. In this reading, you are currently in your feminine energy. And with the Child card here, there's a new beginning that you're about to start. The Child card is all about newness, new beginnings. It can even sometimes represent inexperience, naivety. This is something that you've never done before. And 25 is the ring. Whatever this is, you're actually being called to commit to it. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like this is something that you can really back down from. Maybe this is something that you've been wanting for a long time. And now that it's coming to you, you have to commit to it. 36 is distant horizons. Excuse me, guys. Sorry if I scared you. 36 is distant horizons, and distant horizons represents our dreams, our yearnings. You know, it's like something out of your wildest dreams is about to come to life. Your fantasies and your imagination is what distant horizons represents. Next, you have 44, which is the magnifying glass. The magnifying glass simply says, hey, there's something here that you need to see, right? Something that we should take a closer look at. You are going to have to travel, right? You do have journey card that's here. And I feel like it's not just like a symbolic journey, but I feel like it's a physical journey. So I do see some element of traveling here, you arriving to a new destination, perhaps a place that you've never been before. So you are about to start a new beginning, a brand new chapter, and there's some travels here. And whatever this new beginning is, it's something out of your wildest dreams. I feel like it's something that you've really been looking forward to. And now that it's about to happen, definitely don't have cold feet, okay? You're going to have to commit to it. It's something that you said you wanted, and now God is about to bless you with it. Let's look at number 17, which is the Stork. You have toil and labor. Clarify number 17, the Stork. You have 18, which is the dog. Clarify number 17, the Stork. Clarify number 17, the Stork. 39, the dice. All right. So the Stork is all about rising to the top, elevation. It could even talk about prosperity. It's pretty much when you're in a high place, right? When you're showing a lot of progress. In clarity of 17, the Stork, you do have toil and labor. So the toil and labor is saying that you are about to prosper. It's almost like God is taking you from the bottom to the top. And I say that because you've been in this energy, or you were in this energy of toil and labor, where you've been having to really overwork yourself. Maybe you've even been doing some hard labor. You know, I always say toil and labor, it's the kind of work that doesn't bring you any satisfaction, but you just got to do it to be able to, sustain yourself. Um, some of you may have even gone through some financial problems where you really had to learn to budget, not really living the most comfortable life that you want to live. But that was just temporary, okay? That period of your life was temporary, and perhaps there were some lessons that you were meant to learn. You are about to prosper now. In Clarity of the Stork, you do have number 18, which is the dog. And the dog represents someone who's honorable in character, someone who is trustworthy and supportive. I feel like when you were going through your, chapter of trial and tribulation, you were still showing gratitude to God. You were still keeping your faith. You were still keeping your honor as well. You didn't change who you are because of life, challenges. You remained honorable in character. All right. You didn't lose your pride, your dignity, your morals, your values, your beliefs. You stayed who you are. And so perhaps during that period of trial and tribulation, perhaps you were being tested. Maybe the enemy was testing you, and you certainly passed the test. In Clarity of the Stork, you do have 39, which is the dice, and the dice represents taking a chance, right? Taking risks. I feel like when you were down, all right, during your period of trial and tribulation, the enemy was hoping that you would lose faith in God and that you would take bad risks, okay? Almost like when people, struggle and then they become desperate for something. When they become desperate, that's when they become tempted to do things that they typically wouldn't do, right? That's when they start compromising their morals and their beliefs, their values. That's what the enemy was hoping you would do, but your honor stayed intact, all right? You're showing up as the dog card here because you remained an honorable person. And your faith is unwavering. 39 being this dice card like this, I feel like, the enemy was tempting you. It could even be that the enemy was presenting false offers and opportunities to you when things were really, unfortunate in your life. I feel like life got pretty difficult there for you, and the enemy was just really hoping that you would become fearful and end up doing something that you shouldn't be doing. But that is not what happened, okay? You held on to your faith, and now God is about to reward you by prospering you to new levels and high places. This is incredible. Let's go ahead and look at 29, which is lady number 1. Oops. Lady number 1 is like the Queen of Cups. You are heavily in your feminine energy in this reading, and that's perfectly fine. Clarify lady number 1, number 29. Oops. See if we can get one more clarity card out. 35, the Anchor. So as you can see in the illustration of number 29, this lady here, she's depicted as pretty calm. She's calm, she's sitting down, she has that book in her hand. She just really looks at peace, okay? She looks at peace. She doesn't look like she's really carrying any strong desires. She looks content. In Clarity of lady number 1, you have number 8, which is the Coffin, and the coffin represents an ending. But just know that to every ending, there is a new beginning. I definitely see here that you had to go through some major transformations. Like you went through certain experiences that were just life transforming. The coffin also, like I said, it's an ending. So perhaps you had to put an end to certain things in your life, whether that's you putting an end to, certain relationships, certain connections, certain ties to people, maybe putting an end to, toxic relationships, also just self-improvements, putting an end to any toxic habits of yours, bad mentality, negative behavioral patterns. You really just had to pretty much go through a symbolic death, is what it is. The renewal of the mind, body, and spirit, in order to be transformed, in order to be ready for this new beginning. You had to leave a lot of things in the past. It's like you shed skin, almost like a butterfly going through metamorphosis. That is what I see your transformation was like, and I see that you have really been molded and shaped into this incredible person that you are today. You had to see the truth about many people, places, and things in your life. You also had to stop holding on to certain negative people, places, and things. I say that because 35 is the anchor, and the anchor is representing securing. It could be that you're still attached to something personal in your life. So maybe you're still attached to people in your personal life, like, certain toxic relatives, a particular lover. This is pertaining to your personal life. Let me see here. Tell us more about the anchor. And oh boy, by you still holding on to whatever this is in your personal life, it's actually causing you to miss out on this blessing. And so the longer you hold on to things that don't benefit you or people who don't benefit you, the longer it will take for you to receive these new blessings and enter your new beginning. So just keep that in mind. You're being called to lose some of these people, places, or things in your personal life. 23 is the mice, which represents a loss, destruction, and devastation. Like I said, you are being called to go through a symbolic death with the coffin here, putting an end to anything that is standing in the way of your prosperity, your growth. The more you hold on to negative people, places, and things that don't serve you well, the more you will feel held back. Okay, the more you will feel delayed, blocked. Okay, the more you'll feel like there are obstacles in your way. So as you hold on to things that don't serve you well, those very things that you're holding on to that don't serve you well are actually holding you back from where you want to be in life. And I can tell you now that with number 6 being the cloud, a lack of clarity, you're not understanding something here. And I'm going to bring you that clarity. The anchor is saying that you are still attached. You're still holding on, okay, to something negative here or someone negative here. Again, it could be certain people, maybe certain relationships, bonds, and connections that are just very unhealthy, and it's standing in the way of your spiritual growth. It could be, you needing to let go of, certain behavioral patterns. Maybe it's some kind of habit, maybe it's a lifestyle, maybe it's a mindset, but it's pertaining to your personal life, okay? So let's just go ahead and continue this reading. Tell us more about what this individual can do. Yeah, you're having difficulties with that. 38 is the bridge, and the bridge represents overcoming difficulties. And 24 is the heart. The heart is all about connections, right? Like union, coming together. These are people who you're personally connected to. These are people, places, and things that you're connected to by the heart. So this could be like family, friends, lovers with that heart card here. Wow, you're having a difficult time overcoming this test because you feel that you need to be loyal. You feel like you should be loyal to these people, places, or things in your personal life. But really, the person who should be a priority to you is the Lord, Because if you look at your experiences with these people, they have never truly prioritized you. And some of them could have even, in a way, like sacrificed you, right? If they saw you as a problem, if they saw you as an obstacle in their way, they had no problems with sacrificing you, throwing you under the bus, or doing something that may have harmed you, whether spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally. So it's like you are trying to be honorable to people who dishonor you or even dishonor the God who you serve. And that just doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying that you should be like them, right? Like when they go low, you go low. That's not what I'm saying. Of course, still be a good person, but it just doesn't make any sense to continue to hold on to those who dishonor you, those who aren't good for you, no matter what their connections are to you. No matter what their connections are to you, it just doesn't make any sense for you to still feel obligated, to honor them. Yeah, kick them out. 20 is the park, and the park is an outdoor place. Kick them out of your life. Kick them out. Get them out. Especially if they are standing in the way of your relationship with God. Some of these people could very much be a distraction to you. Some of these people could actually be real life adversaries. Okay? Real life adversaries. There's something here about your life that just isn't traditional, and that's okay. And what do I mean by it isn't traditional? Maybe, for example, traditionally, a family, they're supposed to stay together. They're supposed to stay united. But it could be that in this family dynamic, there are people who are truly fighting against you, who are adversaries. So in that case, you really just have to remove yourself from their life, separate yourself. That's literally what you're being called to do. I can't make this up. 26 is the book of knowledge. That's the information that you need. It can't get any clearer than that. The only person who you owe loyalty to is God, because he's the only one who's been loyal to you. When everyone else has failed you, disappointed you, God is the one who remains loyal, committed, and faithful to you. So he should be your top priority. He should be who you honor. Wow. So it looks like you really did have to go through this spiritual death, and I feel like if there's one death that you haven't gone through, it is pertaining to personal connections, your personal life, your ties with certain people in your personal life. I always tell people you can't serve two gods. You can't serve two masters. Anyone who you put before God has now become your God. You can't serve your selfish wants and desires and then say you're serving God. You can't serve people and then say you're serving God. You can't serve two gods. You can't serve two masters. Wow. I always say, think about it this way. Some of you don't even like when your friends befriend people who you don't like. So imagine how the Lord feels when we mingle and mix with people who dishonor him, who are not for him. And all of this is for your best interest, because these very people do not have your best interest. They're actually against you. Tell us more. And they're waiting, by the way. They're waiting for something. These very people in your life. 37 is the clock, which is all about time. And so that's waiting. Let me see what they're waiting for. I have an idea. They're waiting for like your big breakthrough so that they can come with you and use you. The wealthy man, and then marriage. Yeah, they're looking for your big breakthrough. Wow. So that you can support them when they have not been supportive to you. What sense does that make? Don't let someone play you for a fool, no matter who they are to you, no matter how they're connected to you or related to you. They're literally waiting for your big breakthrough so that they can benefit from your blessing, but some of them didn't even want to see you blessed. Some people don't even want to see you eat. But when God blesses you, they want to eat off your plate. This is for your best interest. It isn't wise to bring people along with you who do not like you. And I know that sounds very hurtful, but you just got to see the truth, in people, places, and things. When someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Because until you believe them, you are going to be stuck. It's like you're going to be in this spiritual imprisonment because you are holding on to something that is holding you back. So it's like you're going to feel imprisoned, a lack of progress. You're going to notice a lack of progress in your life. This starts with you. Letting go of anything, any person, place, or thing that doesn't serve you well. Because you have self-love, self-respect. You care for yourself. When we hold on to things that don't serve us well, it shows our lack of self-love. You can't love people more than you love yourself. So who are you committed to? Who are you committed to? The answer should be God, the very God who wants to bring your dreams to life. Number 3 is, again, the ship. This is something out of your wildest dreams that God wants to bless you with. God wants to give you the world, but are you willing to sacrifice the world for Him? Because if you are, the blessing will come. Unexpected income. Anything else that you should know? High honor is what comes with this blessing. Your whole life is going to be transformed with high honor. There's an elevation. You are going to become a person of high honor, well respected, admired, people being inspired by you. But you got to start doing the work on yourself personally. House. The house is your home. This has to do with your personal life. I can't make this up. So what is it that you're struggling with here, right? Let's talk about it. Let me see if I can help you. You're struggling with committing to people who are not committed to you. You're struggling with being loyal to people who are not loyal to you. You're struggling with, people who being faithful to people who are not faithful to you. Really, this sounds like a self-love issue. Maybe there's some codependency that you have there with these people. Just know that God replaces, God restores. Whatever you let go of, God will replace with something or someone much better. Let's see, what are you struggling with? Let's look at some of your personal struggles. Occupation, lovers. So you have despair. It's more so of a person. I see a person here. This isn't you. Whoever this person is, so there's another character here being introduced to us. This person's in despair. Things are difficult for them. You have not hiring. Maybe they're having a hard time finding a job, making money. It doesn't even have to be anything material, but I'm telling you, they're struggling in some way, shape, or form. And it could actually be money. Maybe they're in need of money. You have unexpected income. Then you have occupation. I feel like they need a job. 15 is the lovers. Somebody here needs a job. Like they need to find a way to make money and they're struggling with that. 15 is the Lovers. It could be that they want to, because the Lovers represents a close, intimate bond that we have with someone. Is this someone who you know? Is it like some kind of personal bond there? Let's see here. Who's this person? Despair. Mature man. Child. The mature man is like a father figure, elder, mentor, grandparent, godparent. Wait, no. Whoever this person is, okay, this is interesting. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because I just heard it. This person's, okay, whoever this person is, this new character that I'm picking up on who's in despair, it looks like they need a job, a legitimate job that pays them. Maybe right now they're working some kind of, minimum wage job that just isn't sustaining them. Which is a problem that a handful of people do face, unfortunately. This person is they've been personally holding on to you. Like they are literally attaching themselves to you. There's no way that you don't know this person because I feel like they are around you. Like they make it so obvious who they are. The interesting thing that's standing out about this person, and we may have to do part 2 just to go more into them, because this is like another story, but it's connected to you. They see you as the mature man. Like the mature man's like the Emperor in the other classic decks. For those of you who are familiar with tarot, the mature man is like the Emperor. The Emperor is someone who is the provider, someone who is reliable, mature, experienced, powerful. The Emperor, who is the mature man in this deck, is really the one who's like in charge and in control. Hmm. 13 is the dog. Or not the dog, excuse me. My head's all over the place because I'm seeing something here. 13 is the child. It's just like whoever this person is, they're putting so much, they have such high expectation of you. They have such a high expectation of you. You show up as the child again. You actually showed up earlier as the child, which was representing your new beginning. But I actually feel like you showing up as the child, it could show some kind of youthfulness to you. Maybe you're young or just youthful regardless of age, but this person is really seeing you as someone who has the power to do something that can help them. I feel like someone here is struggling, but they're not telling you. They like expect you to help them. They feel like you're the Hierophant. The Hierophant is someone who's powerful, influential, someone who makes decisions that impacts other people, like the judge here. The judge has power. He makes decisions that will affect these two people. That the adjudication is like the Hierophant in the other classic deck, power, wealth, and status, We're going to continue this reading in part 2. This is another character in this story who I feel really wants to be connected to you, but personally. And now that I think about it, they could actually be the one who has been holding on to you. For those of you where you're like, no, Dream, I'm not holding on to anyone who's not good for me. I've literally dropped those people, you know. I've separated myself. I've ended the relationship with those people. I get it. Maybe that could be the case where you have done everything on your part. You have learned the lesson. You have seen what you need to see. And you have done the work to clear out anything that's compromising your relationship with the Lord. But it could be that one person here who's connected to you and doesn't want to be left behind. And I'm telling you, they're holding on to you directly, personally. We're going to continue this reading in part 2, and we're just going to dive deeper into who this person is, because maybe you finding out about who they are and maybe doing something about it is what will help free you and release you into this new beginning, because it is holding you back in some way. Whoever this person is, whatever they're doing, it is holding you back. So yes, that's what we're going to look into in part 2, my beautiful people. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this message. And if you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Take care, my beautiful people. See you in part 2. I'll put the link in the description box, and I will also pin the link in the comment section. Take care. See you in part 2.